Why do we have to pick from the lesser of two evils? Hi ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Cooks with you for another video. School is going to be starting for me soon, so it's been kind of hard to make videos and find topics that I wanted to talk about that weren't too specific, but also not too general. But with the election coming up, headlines have been shooting off left and right. And today what I wanted to talk about was the candidates, the major candidates for the 2020 election. And I say major for a reason that I'm going to talk about later. But the two major candidates, as we all know, as most of you all know, are Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And to be honest, I'm not impressed with either of those candidates. More so the latter candidate for reasons that I'm going to discuss. Now, with Donald Trump, he's a smart guy. Both of them are smart guys, but a lot of things he says tends to come off as childish and brash. But I do agree with some of his policies. I did like the border wall, which significantly reduced crime in border cities, his criminal reform, and his prison reform, which reduce the amount of blacks incarcerated and also help them with reforming back into society. But I don't think that's going to cut it. In the HBO AXIOS interview that he had maybe a week or two ago, I linked that in this. That should be in the description down below. He got demolished in that interview with some of his policies and the way he was explaining them. And he's not a very good speaker, to say the least, but that interview demolished him, and it speaks for itself, and that's in the description. Now, with Joe Biden, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what it is, but he seems to have some dementia-esque tendencies. He, forgets a lot of things, and he messes up a lot in his speeches, and I think most that you see of a president is the president speaking. So I think speaking is a big part of it, and I don't like how he messes up a lot. And then I also don't agree with some of his policy making. He's been a career politician. He's been a politician for over 40 years. So it's like, as president, if you're saying you're going to accomplish these things, I hope you propose them during your term as a senator. Now, some of the things he said recently have been very appalling. He's made some comments that, in my opinion, were racist, and I'll show the video for those now.
Question, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think.
Now you see those, and then also his track record is, I think, poor when it comes to crime and the black community. His track record with the 1994 crime bill, and that leading to higher levels of incarceration and tougher crime policies at the state and federal level. It kind of reminds me of Michael Bloomberg's failed run, where he got caught up when they were asking him about the stop and frisk in the cities, and the things he was saying about that, it kind of sounds the same. And while most are incarcerated at the state level, his crime bill encouraged the states to be tougher on crime and make the inmates serve harsher sentences and serve out more of their sentences instead of getting off maybe 50% of the way through their sentence for good behavior. He also supported the expansion of the war on drugs, which I personally disagree with, but he also supported building more prisons in a country where more people are in prison per capita than almost anywhere else in the world. And I just can't support him in his policies of expanding the criminal justice system and making it more severe. And I was doing some research and I found another candidate was running. That's why I said major before, because there's another minor candidate, I would call her. And she's from the Libertarian Party. Her name is Jo Jorgensen. Some of her policies include opposing corporate bailouts, allowing people to opt out of Social Security, stopping the failed war on drugs, abolishing the ATF, using nuclear power, allowing people to use off-grid solar power. For the U.S., she favors an isolationism policy. She also wants to deregulate healthcare, decentralize education, abolish the IRS, that's a good one, eliminate federal income taxes. While there are a couple of policies with her that I disagree with, I really think that she is a step in the right direction. She has a lot of common sense, non-lobbyist level policies, and I think a lot of people want to see that in politics, but with the two-party system, it kind of prevents that from happening. I'm going to link some of her policies in the description, and I'm going to link some of her info in the description so more people can learn about her. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, any info, any disagreements with anything I said, be sure to leave that in the comments below. See you next time.